Hey, I'm Jamie East, and today's episode of the Smart 7 is brought to you by Sainsbury's, where you can save big on festive favourites with Nectar prices. As the nights get cold and with Christmas round the corner, it's more important than ever to find value for money on your festive shop. And this Christmas, Sainsbury's have great discounts to make your festive season truly magical. But you don't have to wait until Christmas to start roast season. For example, this week, you can get a Buy Sainsbury's whole leg of lamb for half price with Nectar prices. You can shop in-store or online and save big on festive favourites this Christmas with Nectar prices at Sainsbury's. That's good food for all of us. This offer's for 18 plus, terms and conditions apply. Buy Sainsbury's whole leg of lamb offer ends 18th November. Nectar required. Available in-store and online, excluding locals. Delivery fees may apply, subject to availability. On today's Smart 7, Starmer faces potential leadership challenge, Trump blames Democrats for Epstein deflection, and much more. It's Thursday, 13th of November, it's World Kindness Day, and happy birthday, Whoopi Goldberg.
The Smart 7. It's news, but
Not the news. The Prime Minister found himself in hot water over football on Wednesday, specifically about his April approval of the appointment of David Cogan, the new football regulator. Cogan had previously donated to Starmer's campaign, and the PM had agreed to recuse himself from the appointment process, given his love of football and experience of football hospitality. The PM apologised both to his independent ethics advisor and to Culture Secretary Lisa Nandy for creating an awkward situation. That isn't the only awkward Starmer-related situation, however, as Downing Street has been battling suggestions that a leadership challenge against the PM is underway. West Streeting is the most likely to make a challenge, according to Number 10, but the Health Secretary was going all out to deny any knowledge of it when he spoke to Sky News.
Nor did I shoot JFK. I don't know where Lord Lucan is. Had nothing to do with Shergar. And I do think that the US did manage to do the moon landings. I don't think they were faked.
The aggressive response has backfired on Starmer's Chief of Staff Morgan McSweeney, and Tory Shadow Justice Secretary Robert Jenrick says the whole thing is a shambles.
I mean, look, I don't really care, to be honest, about the internal politics of the Labour Party. I don't think most people do in the country. What they want this morning is to know that the government is getting on and actually doing things to fix the country.
Prime Minister's Question Time saw plenty of interest in not just the potential Labour leadership battle, but also what might or might not be in the impending budget. Tory leader Kemi Badenoch was on the attack over the state of the economy and new records that showed unemployment at 5%, something that didn't go down well with the PM.
Of course I accept we need to do more in relation to unemployment. That's why we're transforming job centres, which they opposed. I would also remind the Leader of the Opposition, Mr Speaker, that the average unemployment in the 14 years of her government was 5.4% higher than the rate today.
The Lib Dems were keen to propose some ideas of their own to boost the economy, which include reducing energy bills and cutting VAT rates for pubs to encourage people to support the hospitality industry. Deputy Leader Daisy Cooper says the root of the problem is the B word.
Brexit has been a disaster for this country. 2 billion pieces of paper have had to be completed by British businesses since the Brexit deal. If we could scrap that red tape, we could get serious about growth.
There was no sign of any peace deal in the dispute between the government and resident doctors represented by the British Medical Association on Wednesday. In fact, Health Secretary West Streeting went on the attack, denouncing the BMA for behaving like a cartel and calling for them to get real, as he says the government refuses to be held to ransom. The strike, which starts on Friday, is due to last for 5 days, and Dr Emma Brunswick says the central issue remains the long-term erosion of doctors' pay under the Tory government.
We had really lost a huge amount of pay. Real terms pay cuts have happened through pay freezes. The fact that we are still a fifth less well off than we were in 2008, I think is a damning indictment of the way that many governments have treated public sector workers.
Wednesday finally saw the US government officially reopen after a vote on a funding bill in Congress, which was then signed by Donald Trump at the White House. Even after the longest government shutdown in US history, it wasn't the main headline, however, as new emails released by Democrats put Donald Trump's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein back in the spotlight. The emails suggested that Trump once spent hours at a house with one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims, something that Trump denounced as part of a Democrat deflection. In response, Republicans released another 23,000 Epstein documents, hoping to wash away bad news in a flood of paper. Meanwhile, with Donald Trump refusing to participate in the annual COP30 climate summit in Brazil, California Governor Gavin Newsom continued his trolling of the president by attending instead.
I'm here in the absence of leadership from Donald Trump, who's abdicated responsibility on a critical issue. I'm here because I think it's more than electric power, it's about economic power, and I'm not going to cede America's economic leadership to China.
Still to come on today's Smart 7, in association with Metro, Man United women win again, and we meet a man from the future with a message right after this.
If you're a custodial supervisor at a local high school, you know that cleanliness is key, and that the best place to get cleaning supplies is from Grainger. Grainger helps you stay fully stocked on the products you trust, from paper towels and disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Plus, you can rely on Grainger for easy reordering, so you never run out of what you need. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome back. There was more Women's Champions League action on Wednesday, with Manchester United's women facing PSG, while Arsenal women lost 3-2 to Bayern Munich in Germany. Man United's women beat the French side 2-1 and now have maximum points from their first 3 games. Thursday night sees England's men in action as they play Serbia in a 2026 World Cup qualifier. With England already qualified, boss Thomas Tuchel has made a number of changes to his side, but he says it's all part of a long-term plan to build a close-knit squad for next summer.
What we're trying is to build a strong bond, to build a team, to build a brotherhood that everyone wants to join, and to also build a competition and to open up a competition that everyone knows if I pull out, the door can be closed because someone else takes my shirt, someone else takes my place.
If you're a fan of the works of Taylor Sheridan, from Yellowstone to Lionesses, then you'll be glad to hear that Season 2 of his Texas Oilman saga is about to drop. The first season of Landman saw Billy Bob Thornton do battle with cartels and environmentalists while working for Jon Hamm. Season 2 promises more of the same without Jon Hamm, but with a more prominent role for Demi Moore. It's due to drop on Paramount this weekend. Billy Bob has been chatting to CBS before the show drops, and he says he's eternally grateful to the fans who have kept his career running.
Anybody who doesn't come out of their trailer, or if they ignore the fans and walk past them like they mean nothing, I think that's a bad thing for our business, and so I make sure that I do that.
While the world may have been talking breathlessly about the new teasers that dropped for Toy Story 5 or for The Devil Wears Prada 2, we only have eyes for the new movie from director Gore Verbinski. If the name doesn't ring a bell, the fact that he directed The Ring and the first 3 Pirates of the Caribbean should get your attention. He also won an Oscar for the animated movie Rango. His new project is a science fiction comedy called Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, which surely is the ultimate life advice and comes from a time traveller who returns to our time zone to warn that things are about to get much, much worse. It stars Sam Rockwell and it hits cinemas in February.
I come from a future which is totally and completely and I'm here to set it right.
Are any of you even listening to me?
You look homeless, bro. You too. I come from a nightmare apocalypse. This is the height of fashion.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes, we'll give you the world. Hey, I'm Jamie East, and today's episode of The Smart 7 is sponsored by Vodafone Business in partnership with Samsung. When you're running your own business, pretty much anywhere can be your office, the spare room, the back garden, or, like here, the local cafe. With the power of Vodafone Business's reliable award-winning network, combined with the Samsung Galaxy S25, there's no limit to what you can do pretty much anywhere. And over the next few weeks, we're going to answer some of the questions you might have about how best to unlock the power of AI in your business. For example,
how can I use AI safely and securely so my data doesn't leak?
Choose trusted enterprise-grade tools with clear privacy policies. Avoid pasting sensitive financial or customer data into public systems. We recommend you use paid versions with business security options, apply staff training on data handling, and limit AI access to only the information it needs. With Galaxy AI, you can choose how your data is stored and managed, and with a Samsung Business account, you can also customise what your employees access and their security levels. Getting back to the Samsung Galaxy S25, to take advantage of the Galaxy AI features and change the way you do business, you'll need a Samsung account and a network connection. To find out more, search Vodafone Business Samsung, and for network verification, go to vodafone.co.uk/network.